It's your job to talk to Congress. And for some of you, I had to threaten to send a subpoena just to get you to appear today. We did some math. We got 70 of you sitting here. Between your compensation and your benefits package, you make more than $1 million from taxpayers. Taxpayers are paying you more than $1 million. And you won't even come talk to Congress. What do you do all day if you don't talk to Congress? That's your job. We did have this plan for last week. We did have more than 12 members of the Congress show up to have that briefing, and none of you showed up. That's inexcusable. You're the congressional affairs officers. It's your job to talk to Congress. And we expect you to be responsive. And I don't expect to have to issue a subpoena to see unclassified information. We also have questions on what the FBI file contains. Oddly enough, the copies of the file provided to us by the FBI are different. Problem is, the second set had 27 emails more than the other one, which we were grateful for. It was an improving file. Only to have the FBI try to come back and recover those. I'm not sure who has an opening statement and who doesn't. We haven't been submitted anything. Mr. Kadzik, do you have any open comments?
No, I do not have an opening statement, Mr. Chairman, but I would note for the record that I was not compelled to be here today. I came here voluntarily.
Let the record reflect that none of them ultimately accepted service in terms of accepting the subpoena. I'm just saying in general, it did require us to get to the point where I signed subpoenas and presented those subpoenas, but all of the witnesses here today ultimately came here voluntarily. And I appreciate you highlighting that.
I'm not sure who those subpoenas were produced to, but they were.
And Mr. Kadzik was not one of those people. Let's be clear here. Yes, Ms. Freifeld.
I don't have a formal opening statement, but I did want to clarify, sir, that I did not refuse to come up. We asked clarifications on what exactly you were looking for because it seemed uncertain to us what you asked the State Department about these documents that were produced by the FBI. So I'm happy to be here and try to answer your questions as best I can.
Mr. Herring.
I am Special Agent Jason Herring, the Acting Assistant Director for the FBI's Office of Congressional Affairs. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Herring, what information do you believe that Congress does not have the right to see?
So we believe it's important for oversight committees to understand how the FBI reached our conclusion.
No, wait. I'm asking you a philosophical question here. What does Congress not have the right to see?
So I don't know if I can answer that in a way that,
Wait, what is it that I, as a member of Congress, or any member on this Congress, either side of the aisle, what is it that you believe we don't have the right to see? See, this is the way our government works. We get to do oversight. That's why since 1814 this committee has been doing that. There's executive privilege. Let me help you. There's executive privilege. Has the president invoked executive privilege in this case? The answer is no. Good. That's right. The answer is no. Where in the Constitution does it say that I can't see that?
Does it address it specifically in the Constitution?
So, can you cite any legal case, any precedent that says that Congress can't look at personal identifiable information?
I cannot cite any legal case.
Are you aware that Congress is exempt from the Privacy Act?
I am.
Does the FBI treat congressional document requests as FOIA requests?
No.
Will the FBI provide Congress all of the 302s?
All of the 302s, we have one set that you've been provided already. The rest of them are coming through the FOIA process.
Wait.
Yep.
We're not FOIA process. You mean I got to fill out a FOIA request?
I think the director made principal decisions about what to say to Congress when he was here and also what to provide to Congress. As far as the
Wait, where do I find that?
Person identified.
Do we just let everybody in government decide that they're based on their own individual principles? That's what see. It's trust but verify is how it works. You don't get to decide what I get to see. I get to see it all. I was elected by some 800,000 people to come to Congress and see classified information. I was elected by my colleagues here to be the chairman of this committee. That's the way our Constitution works. Will the FBI provide to Congress the full file with no redactions of personal identifiable information?
I cannot make that commitment sitting here today.
Then I'm going to issue a subpoena, and I'm going to do it right now. So let's go. I've signed this subpoena. We want all the 302s, and we would like the full file. You can accept service on behalf of the FBI?
Certainly.
You are hereby served. What happens if we release these emails that are on Hillary Clinton's unsecured server? What happens?
Mr. Chairman, I can confirm that CIA participated in the classification review process, and I'd be happy to talk about that process in closed session. Needless to say, some of the materials do include classified information that we do not believe is appropriate for public release.
The chairman invited you to a briefing last week in a classified setting, which you said in your opening remarks where you'd like to discuss this information. So who told you not to come to the briefing? Because the chairman was there, I was there. In fact, every single Republican member was sitting there waiting anxiously for you to come do what you just said in your opening statement you wanted to do. So why didn't you show up? Someone tell you not to come, Mr. Herring?
There's some conversations between me and some of the committee staff about what the briefing was going to be about.
No, I'm asking, did someone tell you not to come? You were invited, we were all waiting. We don't have all the 302s, we don't have the whole file. You've told us you made all the redactions. We were going to ask you about that. We were going to do it in a classified setting, which is what you prefer, what you want, what you've told us today you want. And someone told you not to come. Who told you not to come?
It was my decision, but I'd like to explain it away in the classified
Wait.
setting.
You decided on your own? You didn't consult with anyone else?
Certainly consulted with the director's office.
And the director said, it's up to you, Mr. Herring. I'm not going to decide. You're going to decide? Really?
So a lot of it has to do with what the discussion was going to be in the classified briefing. And I think there was some confusion, at least on my part, about what the expectations were in some of my conversations with committee staff last week.
Do you have any other discussions? Just you and Director Comey talked about this? You talked to anyone else?
Certainly, we have our general counsel's office, the Department of Justice. There are a number of people.
Mr. Herring, was this case different? You said you've been around the FBI 17 years. You're now the acting director for legislative affairs. Was this case different?
I think this case is different in a lot of ways.
A lot of ways.
I do.
Can you tell us? Can you give me some? Why? I know it's different in a lot of ways. How about this difference? You ever had a case in your 17 years where the subject of your investigation's husband meets with the Attorney General just a couple days before you're going to interview that individual in your investigation? You ever had that happen in your 17 years?
No, sir.
That's certainly different, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
We're going to get the 302s one way or another, but you have not given us all the 302s, right?
Not yet. We did prioritize them, and we did the most important.
That's not a question. You don't get to prioritize. Never in the history of investigations that I've participated in. We want the information. We are entitled to the information. We are the investigative branch. Collectively, we represent the American people.
Certainly.
And you have denied that. Now, we've had to file with you, Mr. Krasnick, a referral. How long before you act on the referral? You have the referrals?
We have the letter from the chairman and Chairman Goodlatte.
What's the timetable? I mean,
I can't give you a timetable. We've referred it. It's being reviewed, and I can't give you a timetable for an investigation.
you are, again, withholding information that this committee legitimately requested the directors, and he promised that he would provide us. That's not acceptable.
Gentlemen.
Mr. Herring, would you say that the FBI's investigation and the delivery of documents have been very systematic and principled?
Yes, as far as delivery of.
So there's no haphazard method of delivering documents?
The documents we provided to Congress, sir?
Yes.
No, I think it's been thoughtful and deliberative.
Okay. Can you tell me why you didn't deliver the documents that the chairman asked for on July the 11th to the committee? You didn't deliver them to the committee. You actually delivered them to another entity, did you not?
That's correct. We delivered.
Why did you not deliver it to the committee?
Well, because those documents contain classified and other sensitive materials and need to make sure they're handled appropriately.
All right. So are you willing to deliver all the unclassified documents to this committee?
So I think that
Yes or no? Because you can't have the first statement without the second statement. If the reason you sent it there was because it was classified, are you willing to give all the unclassified documents to this committee?
so the documents that we
Yes or no?
we will give so we've given certain documents to the committee already.
Yes or no? It's a real simple question. Will you give all the unclassified documents to this committee, since the reason that you gave them to somebody else was that there was classified documents?
So the documents
Yes or no?
have the restrictions on them, and
Yes or no? Why would they have? Who placed the restrictions? You?
no,
FBI?
yes,
So the answer is you place restrictions, so you're not going to give the unclassified documents to this committee.
so we've given this committee access to all the documents through.
That's not the question. It's a great answer to a question I didn't ask. Are you willing to give the unclassified documents to this committee?
I would prefer to address it outside of the setting.